Welcome, my friends. This is Maniacal Incorporated, and you join me in 1932 in a busy jazz club, probably in Marrakesh or something like that, for a look at the demo for the Lamplighters League. The full game is coming out in the next couple of days, and Paradox Studios, which is publishing the game, has just released a demo. It's being developed by Harebrained Schemes, and is an XCOM style, turn-based shooty shoot. I think that's the best way of describing it. This isn't Paradox's first foray into this style of game. In late 2020 they published Empire of Sin by Galway-based Romero Games, and that game was a bit of a disaster. A bug-addled mess on release. They did get a good chunk of work done on the game to make it playable, but it was fairly repetitive, fairly monotonous. Once you'd kind of done one battle, you'd done them all. Once you'd done one playthrough, you'd done them all. And the game is still available for purchase, and the second DLC is still available for pre-order, even though it's pretty clear that the game has been abandoned. And there's lots of discussions. I'll post a link to the discussions on the Paradox forums in the description below, but there's a lot of people still very unhappy with that. I pre-ordered the game. I played it for about an hour or two on the day it was released, and then didn't touch it again for another couple of months when I did my series over on the other channel, looking at some Irish characters and Irish history in the game, and in 1920s Chicago in general. But for a lot of people, I didn't pre-order the DLC, I should say. A lot of people have, and they've been left basically out in the cold with no kind of verification as to what is or isn't happening. Considering that Harebrained Schemes is owned by Paradox and Romero Games isn't, I can see the same thing happening here, but it's an interesting move into an area that Paradox isn't well known for, we'll say, and of course this is something that Paradox is trying to do, is to not necessarily break out of grand strategy, but to take a look at other games outside of the grand strategy genre, and of course we're going to see Millennia coming out soon. Or maybe not coming out soon, but it's in development at the moment. But there you go, a brief... You really can't not mention the Empire of Sin debacle when looking at the Lamplighters League. I'm going to take a look at the demo. Going to start on new game. There's a bit of an intro with adventures music. I'm going to skip that, if I can figure out how to skip it. And we'll get through this load screen and we'll take a look at what the gameplay is like.
How about I find our missing courier? You stay here and guard my back?
So you can get the package yourself and cut me out of the job. Ha, nice try.
Whatever you say, Gentleman Jin.
Was that so hard? But that's my professional name. You can just call me Latif.
So in our intro, we see a courier running down the street. He's scared. He's nearly getting run over by cars, running around the place. And this person, it looks like, was waiting for them. So we have WASD to move. We can rotate our camera. Shift to sprint. And, oh yeah, mouse click to actually go to regions as well. And I was just about to see if we could rotate the camera using the mouse. We can indeed. We can indeed. There we go. So I'm not too sure, is she just crouching for the sake of it? And then we hold shift to sprint. So sprinting makes noise, indicated by expanding rings around the agent. Other sources of noise include firing a weapon or destroying an object. Enemies who hear a noise will become suspicious and may move to investigate the devils.
So, how long have you been working for Elle?
As long as you have, I think.
So, about 3 hours. Got it.
So they make noise as they sprint. We're getting notes to inspect something over in this direction. So a horn at night, oh boys, that's that can be a nuisance. From the apartments beyond come the melody of a French horn, faint but bold against the city's murmurs. So giving us a bit of a bit of the setting. So we're into a kind of a pulp, heavy, a pulp style setting. Indiana Jones, The Mummy, that kind of genre. So you're playing in infiltration mode, where agents move in real time around the map. Agents have real-time roles, either sneak, bruiser, or a saboteur. So we've been told this from a piece of netting. The door ahead is bolted from the other side, but as a sneak, Latif can clamber up the nearby netting, then unlock the door for Ingrid. I'm wondering, is clamber up an actual thing he can do, considering that it has a capital C? But nobody else can clamber. He is the only clamberer. So he's able to clamber. Ingrid cannot clamber. There you go.
The door's barred.
I guess you're lucky I'm here then.
To each man his speciality. So I've been playing a good chunk of Baldur's Gate 3 at the moment, and I'm trying to use my mouse wheel
Oh,
to
you waited for me.
Didn't have much of a choice.
rotate, which does
Let's
not
go.
work. It is right click. Now, how do we get the party back together, we'll say? It's G to regroup, who was telling me in the corner, and I wasn't listening. When grouped, unselected agents automatically follow one another. Enemies can't catch them. In the field of vision, to control each agent individually, press G again on a single agent to ungroup them. Okay. Ingrid is a bruiser, able to bring down weakened barriers to create new paths through the environment. Use Ingrid's real-time ability to break through this crumbling wall. Where is Ingrid gone to? It is kind of confusing not having... It would probably clog it up too much. Again, it's just from Baldur's Gate 3. That's, it's force of habit. I have to select a character over here.
The trick is wanting it bad enough.
I do like the fact that you're getting the dialogue here on the side. Because again, this is going to be kind of a story... I won't say story heavy...
This way.
Probably not like story heavy in the way that Baldur's Gate 3 would be, but you're going to have your characters, you're going to have your different quips and jokes and humor that they make, and that's kind of mostly what this is I don't imagine you're going to have as many decisions
He's sleeping?
as something like BG3. Instead, this is kind of a more linear story, I imagine, and it's simply a matter of enjoying the story. Let's go and take a look at some of the things around here.
A letter from our employer. The mysterious L.
My agents will meet you as arranged, and I expect you will deliver. Why else would you write our mutual friend about discovering the cards? Surely you knew he would write to me. So sell me the deck and be done with it. Do not stand between me and my revenge. Okay, that's... Okay. I'm not pressing anything. I clicked on the news agents, and they're off. Where are you guys off to? Where are you actually going? 0 out of 10. The display window for this used bookstore bears two posters. One is an advertisement for a new brand of Spanish gramophone. The other offers a warning: the she-beast is coming. Okay, do we have a date? Do we have a time and place for that? No? Because that's got my interest. Now we also have retreat, and I'm wondering, is that something like in XCOM, where you can leave the mission? Okay, they're off again. You guys really don't want to examine this thing, do you? No. Okay, we'll... Fine then. Keep your secrets.
Nope, he's dead.
And no sign of the package. So much for an easy job.
The poor guy's still warm. The package can't be far.
So this was the courier who went down an alleyway and then he saw somebody spooky in this direction looking at him. And now he's taken a nap. So we have a package to find. And presumably, as we have a big piece of honey hexagon off in this corner, this is probably where we're going. The urge to click on every single crate, believing that there's things in them. BG3, you've destroyed my life.
Another of those masked soldiers from the roof. Who are they?
No idea. But 10 francs as one of them has our package.
Okay, so we have Introduction to Combat. Maybe. Sizing up the options. There's a lookout up ahead, in a well-defended position. Get too close and the agents will enter the guard's field of vision, causing him to become suspicious. A frontal attack is an option, but not the only one. Scoundrels like Ingrid and Latif can handle certain threats while staying silent. As a sneak, that's a terrible thing to call him, Latif has several advantages during infiltration. When not grouped with other agents, there's lots of capital words just randomly in the middle of sentences. He moves more quietly and can approach enemies from behind without being detected. Ungroup and switch to Latif to narrow the enforcer's field of vision. Then move Latif behind the enforcer. So I currently have Ingrid selected. And we can see that this chimney is blocking the line of sight. If we switch to Latif, we can see that this guy now has no line of sight behind him. So during infiltration, agents can use takedowns to quietly dispatch enemies. This lone sentry is a perfect target for the sneak takedown sucker punch. Switch to Latif, then move him behind the sentry, and press advance. So we put him here. So how do we know that we have this until we actually get into this position?
So much for him. Any sign of the package?
These guys are flunkies. We're looking for a bigger fish.
An hour ago, this was a cakewalk. Now we've got the dead courier and goons in gas masks.
I want to loot the body. I want to take all the things on him. Below is a lone night watchman slouched in a chair, fast asleep. Behind him, or beside him, is a spirit board. The planchette points to the letter H. Was there something over here that I missed? I'm not too pushed. Okay, so we have a bit of a... Dispatch the two guards.
Give me a moment.
Now, what are our options? I don't know what this is. And we can recon. This is recon mode. Use it to explore the world and gain useful information about various objects, including enemies and the agents. So this is basically like pressing L in Caves of Cod. That's what I'm gonna imagine. So we can spin around. So their abilities: burst fire. The enforcer sprays a target with a burst of SMG fire. Recruited from the disillusioned masses, enforcers impose the banished court's will with semi-automatic rifles and satchel charges, the most numerous of all the court's forces, but no less dangerous for it. So the banished court is basically the evil organization in the world of the Lamplighters League. We have Ingrid, a femme fatale with a mysterious past and a deadly right hook. That just basically describes all femme fatales. A skilled brawler, Ingrid excels against groups of enemies. Scoring a knockout blow only fuels her killer instinct, allowing her to do more per turn. So passive ability on killing an enemy, Ingrid gains 1 action point, can activate 2 times per round. And then we have Latif, who has dodge, quick draw, and cloaked. Now I wonder, are they unique to Latif, while Sucker Punch is unique to his actual class as a sneak? And then we can press space to get more info, which just zooms us in, basically. Okay, let's see, is there anything else around here of immediate interest? It doesn't look like it. I'm wondering if we can just kind of sneak up to this guy. These guys, if the guy facing us is being blocked by his friend. So 2 guards up ahead. Too many for a sneak to Sucker Punch, but bruisers like Ingrid can use Slam to take down up to 3 targets at once. Slam makes more noise, but dead men don't get suspicious. Switch to Ingrid and aim with the mouse. Okay. So switch to Ingrid and press space. Okay, so this is Latif's version, but what was being described down here is basically the ability that she has. Okay, so we will switch to Ingrid. And we'll move her forward a small bit. We can basically move her forward to the edge of the zone. And this then is her takedown, or her slam takedown. Dash in a direction and bait up everyone.
Out of the way.
So she basically just goes through them, and if you can line them up well enough, you're in a position where you can take down multiple enemies. Oh. We have a devil. So I thought we might get Latif up to bait that guy into the back of the head. I did press G. Is Latif coming? No.
Let's move.
No. Oh, you actually have to be... You have to be in the range. It's not just wherever on the map he is. Okay, so you actually have to be in range of him. Okay.
Another flunky. Perhaps we can slip past them.
So make too much noise or enter the field of vision and enemies will become suspicious, indicated by a question mark over their heads. When an already suspicious enemy sees or hears something fishy, an expanding red circle appears around them, indicating that they are searching their surroundings. If an agent gets caught in that red circle, combat will start. But this enforcer has his back turned to some low cover, so it won't be hard to slip past him undetected. All agents can use cover to stay out of sight, even when inside the enemy's field of vision. Sneaks have an extra trick up their sleeve. When ungrouped and next to any cover, they are cloaked, meaning an enemy can only see them when standing right in front of them, even when they're in that enemy's direct line of sight. Grouping up with other agents will make a sneak easier to spot though. Stay close or split up, it's a gamble either way. So I think we should be able to get a couple of things done. Below is the bank's entrance. All arrayed like chessboard pieces in a crooked game.
Seems like half of Paris wants this package.
Yeah? The gas mask wearing half.
Ambushes. Sooner or later it'll be time to fight. Best to do it on the agent's own terms. Position the agents, then enter turn-based mode. Choose that opening attack carefully. As soon as enemies become aware of the agent's presence, they'll take cover, making them harder to hit. All enemies get a 15% to hit bonus in the first round of combat. So, do we have multiple enemies here? Is that what you're saying? Because we could just sneak up behind this guy and bash him into the back of the head. We could, but we'd better, that circle was getting very large all of a sudden. Let's see, where is Latif?
Sit tight.
He is here. We'll put him there, so then. Oh, so that was him. That change in colour is him becoming cloaked, I believe. Oh no, that's not what I want. Let's do a combat. Ingrid and Latif have gone loud and are now in turn-based combat. Agents may take their turn in any order. So the combat abilities appear in the ability bar at the bottom of the screen. So we've now seen a chunk of new abilities pop up because we've left the actual stealth aspect part of the game and we're now into the combat aspect. Each enemy, or each ability I should say, costs 1 or more action points, AP, to use. Navigate the ability bar with left and right by selecting with the mouse or by pressing the matching number. Movement costs 1 or 2 action points depending on the distance travelled. Select the move ability, then use WASD. Right. So what do we have here? We have move, we have evade, we have onslaught. So we will pick move. We're just out of range. Not sure. Okay. So move is the only thing that she can do. Is that it? He can shoot pistol. Our good old Overwatch. Do you know what? Overwatch would be handy in Baldur's Gate 3. I'm just going to compare everything to Baldur's Gate 3 now from now on. So his signature ability sets a 120 HP decoy in a cloud of smoke, becomes invisible and moves to a selected location. Nearby enemies attack the decoy for 2 rounds. The fools, the morons. Let's see if we can put a bullet into his head. Targeting. Some abilities need a target. Cycle through all targets with Z or Tab and select one with space. I hope I can just point at them. I can. I can point at him anyway. 65% chance to hit.
Gentleman Jin of Cairo.
You really want to impress me? Do that again.
Can he do that again? Apparently he can. Where is Ingrid? So her turn is gone. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Something's bothering me. The courier's body was a pincushion, but none of these goons have knives.
And the sooner we find this package, the better.
Ingrid, you can just leave. Loot the dead. I want his stuff. Now, do we have...
Follow me.
Until you actually start moving, you don't really know whether or not they're all grouped together. Now, it doesn't really matter. It only matters what direction he's facing for Latif, we'll say. It doesn't matter for Ingrid. Because he just has a range of vision around him. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I thought he was coming down this direction. He's not. So we could try and take the 2 of them on, or we could have Latif.
Hold on.
Let's see if we can get him to... I'm trying to see where we would get him to. Where would be a good position to get him to. Shield icon indicates cover and half cover. entirely possible I have now missed my opportunity. We just wait for him to come around again. And see if we can have Latif run up behind him.
Good night.
And that guy heard nothing.
Let's get it done.
So we do have a bit of distance to cover. To get the whole party grouped, there was an ability to eavesdrop. Now it looks like that's actually gone. That was something that we could have eavesdropped on there. Maybe whatever conversation was going on has finished. So we need to do a bit of recon, I think. Just kind of get a... We can't do a whole heap of recon, I don't think. Just to get a bit of a glance around at what we're actually doing. Trying to get down into this area.
So, what's he like? L, I mean.
He has neat handwriting, and he pays well.
You've never met him either, huh?
So I presume L is Mr. Lamplighter, who lights lamps. Now, where are they going?
I bet our package is inside one of those crates. Ah, they're loading the trucks to go.
Then we need to move fast if we want our payday. Stay put.
Ingrid, you could do a bit of a... I was about to say you could do a better job. You could do a better job at ducking. You can do a better job of ducking than that. It does slow down a bit.
Sleep well.
It does slow down a bit, which is handy. So that's actually her 2 uses used up. So I wonder we'll have to fight these last 2 guys by the looks of it. I'm not too sure. Do we take a long rest? Can we go to camp? Get the bard to play Song of Rest? Maybe? Magister. Mission success. Lady Nicastro has retrieved the deck. Departure slightly delayed as we wait for her to finish praying. I have already sent a cleanup crew to follow in her wake given tonight's excitement. I told them to expect at least 3 more bodies. Okay. So we will get Latif. And what I might do is get him to sneaky. Is he ducking? That's kind of weird. Not entirely too sure how kind of creeping works. There you go. That's and we could go into turn-based, which is actually just combat. Because I'd like to get him to, we'll say, here, which, from my understanding, he should be able to. Okay, that's good enough. Now, the only kind of issue is that you can't really free camera around, so I have to basically turn the camera until I can click on Ingrid. I was about to say I'd be very suspicious if you could hit her. And we will control. Now. So it's not move and then punch, it's move and punch. as a single move. Baits the living daylights out of that box. The boys are off. So she can do an onslaught, a sweeping compound attack that deals damage and inflicts knockdown upon all adjacent enemies. I presume we don't have any adjacent enemies. It's an agent's most powerful move. Now, is it adjacent to the performer, or is it adjacent to it? It actually is, by the looks of it. Oh, well, yeah. But he's still actually out of range. I was wondering, was it adjacent to the person doing the punching or the person being punched? Let's see if we can get Latif. So I'm not actually too sure. We have a 70% and a 35%.
Never saw it coming.
Is it 70% of the time it works 35% of the time? And she actually gets back an action point for doing that. Ah, come on, he missed. He shot over her head. And she can just go and give him an old baiting.
Is that the last of them?
It can't be. We still haven't seen whoever carved up the courier.
Hey, I have an idea. Let's leave before the butcher shows up.
Her hand must be in bits, literally just belting lads into the back of steel helmets. We have the package.
I have the package.
Nice lift. Now let's get out of here.
We have the package. Look at this, it's so easy. All we have to do is get to here. Is something going to happen before we get to here? No,
I have a
okay.
car just ahead. We can take that to the rendezvous.
I'm going to open this package. I think we deserve to know what we just risked our lives to steal.
I won't tell.
And Mr. L hired us to retrieve... playing cards. Blank? Playing cards?
A troop of uniformed mercenaries killed a man. For a deck of blank playing cards?
Not what I'd call a winning hand.
It will be when we trade it in to Mr. L for our paycheck.
They're proxy Magic the Gathering cards. Obviously.
This is the place. From here we catch an airplane that takes us to L.
Can you fly an aeroplane? Because I could probably figure it out, but...
Let's hope the contact we're meeting knows how.
I think I saw that. Was that on Twitter or, well, X or TikTok or something recently? Men on podcasts convinced that they could land a plane. If they were on a plane and the pilot was incapacitated, yeah, totally, I could land a plane. So Latif is one of those. He's on a podcast and he's gone on about how he could easily land a plane if he had to. I would like to see what the game is like outside of these scenarios. I know this is pretty much railroaded what we've done so far, but I enjoy this. I'm liking this. You do have your placement and your strategy aspect. You have that additional bit that's outside of the actual combat and the AP and stuff like that. It's not just kind of get to an area and start a combat. There was one scenario there that we could have dealt with without going into combat, and I'm wondering if there's going to be ones that will allow you to use your real-time abilities or combat, turn-based combat, or your real-time abilities. Over the slimy salt, tang of the ocean wafts the delicate floral scent of fresh oranges. There you go. Wait, they're oranges. Are they spuds? Are they bags of spuds? Oh, boys. Oh. Oh, the mash that I could make with those. Latif, pick them up.
The gas masks from Paris are here too?
Impossible. There's no way they got here before we did.
So we have all our stuff back. Does the game pause or does it freeze in recon mode? It does. Dynamite crate, you say? Destroy it to create an explosion that inflicts knockdown on all units in range and ignites any nearby oil. What else do we have? So we have... Oh. What's up there? A dynamite crate. Somebody's in a bad position. I wonder would a dynamite crate exploding cause much noise? So we're going to have an issue here now where we have somebody on the move. I'm wondering if we can get Latif up to wallop this guy into the back of the head, and if he'll be then spotted by the other guy. Don't really know.
Wait.
I'm waiting. Ah, the enemy is on guard, indicated by the yellow eye icon over his head. Enemies on guard won't move from their post, but they may call their buddies over to investigate on their behalf. They're also more alert and quicker to catch infiltrating agents, even sneaks, who approach from behind.
Right this way.
I like how we shout group and she comes to us, but the other guy doesn't. That guy doesn't. Agents can hide in tall grass, making them harder to catch. Can Pokemon hide in tall grass? Is there a chance that we're going to get a Pokemon? Oh, there's two lads here. So the crate of explosives is dangerously close to a pool of flammable oil. This is a health and safety issue just waiting to happen, and those enforcers patrol routes take them right past it. When agents are ready to go loud, enter turn-based mode, select a ranged attack ability, and target the explosives to light them up. I do like the ability of going loud.
Yeah, dude. You want some of that loud? You want some of that loud? I got some of that loud. You want some of that?
And keep an eye out for other hazards on the map, either to avoid them or to use them to the agent's advantage. Cold night tonight? No, it's not. That's just what happens when you step through the crossroads. Fastest way to travel, but turns your blood colder than a ghost. Uh-oh, not where we wanted to be. Okay. So I'm not too sure if he gets blocked by stuff. Oh, they're telling us what's up in the top right-hand corner. Ah, I didn't spot that. So it wasn't 75% of the 75% of the time it works 35% of the time. It's a 100% chance to hit and a 35% chance to crit. Basic hit chance has a 15% crit, and then because of quick draw, there's a 20% crit. Okay. And confirm. Now, I presume they are... I won't say they're alerted, but... Lads, you've no idea what's going on. Where could I get him to move to? It'll guard him from that guy, but it won't guard him from whatever's coming around the corner. Like, I wonder if they can actually see, or if there's any bit of a disadvantage on attacks. Okay. She has 2 AP. Now, of course, she could move to there for the 2 AP. Now, what will the evade do? The first attack attempt made against this unit automatically misses, lasts for a round. So if I get her to here... she's actually in range then to move and strike. Okay, interesting. Might as well.
I regret that it came to this.
Oh, in the face. Yeah, we'll put him in a bad position. Okay. So he does not have line of sight on that guy, unless I move him forward. And that's the worst thing about the AP point system, is to move him just 1 square is going to cost 1 full AP. So we have a 35 to hit. And he's just out of the range of that. Well, I suppose. Now, I don't know if he's going to be put on fire if I move him to there. He's dodging the fire, it's fine. Still doesn't actually have a range of that guy. Oh, he does. Okay. So we can give him a little slap, which puts her on 2. So he's just out. Let's punch the dynamite. Into the oil. And punch.
Remember my face. It will be the last thing you see.
He'll remember that face alright, he's just after putting 3 or 4 bullets into it.
Who are these goons? Secret police? Communists? Anarchists?
None of those seem to fit. This is something else.
Lower. The page is flecked with all the oil that's just been poured over it. Captain, we found a suitable candidate for the finding. And Lady Nicastro was able to perform the ritual. She says the entrails indicate Marseille as the thieves' destination. We are preparing the mobile crossroads beacon now. Note, apologies for the stains on this leather. This is the last time I stand downwind during a finding. So already, again, like I said, this is just the kind of the... what would you call it? Hard-coded, railroaded tutorial. I quite like the story. This reminds me of another game. I meant to check the name of it before I started. I will put it up when I go and check my Steam library afterwards. It's a game that I have to get back to. I do find it a bit tough. It's a mixture of Indiana Jones and FTL. So you basically, you get from your starting position to your goal in an FTL style. So from node to node to node. And depending on what way you go, you close off other aspects. I suppose you could call it FTL slash almost Slay the Spire style, picking branches that you want to go down. But it's set in the Middle East. in late 30s, early to late 30s, early 40s. And it's them devils, them Nazi devils. You're trying to beat them. They're trying to get their hands on ancient artifacts. And there's undead Nazis in it, and you get to kill them. But, again, the lore there, the story there was interesting. The story here is interesting so far. The metal is blisteringly cold, far too cold for a French night in March. From within comes a faint mechanical hum. How interesting. So already from that bit of lore and from the bit of lore from the, I literally thought it was a pig. It's Ed Neddy. I thought it was a pig. We already know that there's something called the Crossroads, which seems to be some kind of portal. And here we have a new teammate. I actually didn't realize I was going in the direction of where he was based. So we can make contact. That's how you make contact.
Y'all got the package?
That depends. Are you the pilot?
Me? No. I'm the guy who's gonna get you to him in one piece.
I thought Latif was the pilot. So this guy can pick locks. He's a saboteur. Saboteurs can pick locks and use shock mines to take down enemies during infiltration. The door up ahead is locked. Switch to Eddie to pick the lock and open it. He is my Astarion. So let's say Latif, and Latif cannot do nothing. So Eddie, Saboteur, also tells you at the bottom as well. Sneak and Bruiser. We'll go and figure out what that is later on.
On the move.
And of course we have to do our G to pick up everyone. Inventory, yes, finally we have an inventory that we can put those bags of spuds into. Agents can pick up and carry useful items in their inventory. Anything an agent picks up is displayed in the inventory slots on their ability tray at the bottom of the screen. To use an item, first select the inventory slot. Items like medkits are able or usable in real-time infiltration and turn-based combat, while targetable items like grenades are only used in turn-based. To drop an item, press I. Oh no, that's usually what you press to open the inventory. Once the item appears on the ground, other agents can always grab it for themselves. Interesting. Bandages. So there are the bandages, and if we pick somebody else then... Ah, so that's the inventory. Wait, is that it? There's just the one inventory thing? From Reme Allard, Stevedore. At around 2100, a troop of unknown soldiers entered Dock 94 in Marseille without warning or authorization. I have attempted to contact the gendarme or gendarmerie, but no one has responded. Their leader is here. The report leaves off. The report leaves off here in a blot of ink, and as if the writer had been called away mid-sentence. It is gendarme, isn't it? Correct my French in the, or my complete and utter lack of French, in the comments below.
Didn't catch your name, cowboy.
Eddie Sawyer. Pleased to meet you.
They call me the Gentleman Jin.
Sure thing.
Nobody calls
Your
you
turn,
that.
sister.
Just Ingrid will do. Let's keep moving.
The Gentleman Jin is what Math Plays calls himself, but it's G-I-N.
Move out.
I have such a compulsion to press the Alt key to see if there's anything around. Shock mines. During infiltration, saboteurs control shock mines to lure an enemy out of position. Those who come to investigate will find themselves on the receiving end of a deadly electric current. On detonation, shock mines also electrify water and ignite oil. How interesting.
Easy as pie.
I would kind of like to watch, but I don't want them standing too close. Well, let's see if we can bring them up. What's this? Now, does it keep the water electrified for a lengthy period of time? That's a pretty cool mechanic. I like that.
Roll out.
No, it doesn't. It goes out then after a short while. More water.
You got any idea who these gas masks are, Sawyer?
Seems like there's a new militia every week these days. A lot of Joes came back from the war unfit for anything but killing.
So I keep thinking WASD will allow me to pan around, but of course that is not what it does. So we have this area here that I presume we need to get to? Question mark? So this is the area that I didn't kind of go up, and there's nothing exactly over here by the looks of it. I'm not too sure. Are there alternate ways to achieving your goals and your objectives? Or is it pretty much just get through the whole thing? I have realized that I should probably drop those bandages and give them to Ingrid. So you're telling me I Are you telling me I? Don't tell me I need... Do I need to, like, select them and I to drop? Okay. So...
This ought to
Ingrid...
come in handy.
No. Okay, we'll try and do it in an area where we can actually move around. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Wait here.
Okay, so we have some better bit of vision on him at the moment. We could of course throw the shockwave or the shock mine in there, but let's see if we can save it. For somebody more deserving.
Down we go.
You didn't see nothing. You didn't see nothing. So I think there, what you can do is you can pretty much just highlight the individual and press the spacebar. Press the pace bar. To do that sucker punch. If you had to... Because sometimes what will happen is, if somebody is walking away from you and you indicate an action against them, by the time that you get to the position they were in when you indicated the action, you no longer complete the action. Things like that happen quite often in, we'll say, Baldur's Gate 3, you may have heard of it. And you end up just kind of like standing in the middle of a room that you did not want to be standing in the middle of. So I like the idea there that Latif basically kept following that guy. He didn't, even when he moved away from where Latif was, or where he was when Latif started. I actually thought these were the bad guys, or the bad guy. There is a specific bad guy, the bad guy that we would have seen in the
Hold up.
intro. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh? You can't see me.
Say, what's that over there?
Yes. All of you should go and pay attention to that. Okay.
The real fun begins.
Okay, because we did. Okay, so there's no kind of surprise attack. We're not in the best of positions. We're not in the best of positions. Dual shot. Eddie fires twice with his revolvers, targeting up to 2 different enemies. Accurate at mid-range. Lays down a hail of fire, dealing damage to all enemies in a cone AoE. And he has his bandages and he has his overwatch. So let's see about dual shot. Use space to add a target and not assigned to remove a target. Okay. So am I now stuck in a position where I can't? Wait, what? No, that's not what I wanted. So I think there's literally 1 target. No, there's 2. I knew there was. So we will add you, and we will add. I wonder, can you target the same person twice? You can, by the looks of it. Eddie. He missed with the first one. I thought I saw something over here. I didn't spot that until now. Are you saying he has another? He has another round of shooting. And Latif has no targets that he can actually shoot from where he is. Okay. That brings her into punchy punch range. Let's see if we can get Latif to here. Shoots his pistol. That's going to kill them outright though.
Surprise.
Okay. How disappointing. I thought he might wound them enough that Ingrid would be able to finish them off and get some AP.
Challenge. That's
So
all
just
I
hit the
ask.
one target
Feed
with
him up
both
for me,
magic
kid.
missiles.
Don't forget it. Ordnance ain't pretty, but it sure as hell works.
So yes, you can only have 1 item at a time by the looks of it. So if I click on them for him, the only option was to drop them. I don't think we have an option for Ingrid to drop them. So if there was somebody else worse injured than her,
That will do.
I don't know if we'd be able to give them
Don't wander.
the bandages. So we have a key. I'm not too sure if that just kind of goes into a general inventory someplace. Oh, there it is. More bandages.
souvenir.
Lots of bandages.
Witty.
And basically, when somebody picks up a key, it's kind of shared by the whole party, by the looks of it. Or maybe it's just the fact that they were all grouped together.
There's the aeroplane. Now where'd that damn pilot get to?
Rendezvous with the pilot. All must survive. We'll get them to here. For now, out of the way. Yes, that's what we'll do. We'll put them out in the middle of danger. We can probably get them to here and see what's going on. Recon mode. Scoundrels know the value of casing the area before things get loud. Activate recon mode. So this is the first time that they're actually telling us about recon mode. I just went and looked at it myself the last time.
Maybe you got the location wrong?
They will be here, and the deck with them. Doubt me again, and the next entrails I read will be yours.
Oh, boys. Oh, boys. Lady Nicastro is a deadly adversary. When scions like her are on the field, there's no shame in running to live and fight another day. The escape route is that aeroplane at the end of the dock. Reach it to escape Lady Nicastro. And don't forget the pilot. So here is our gang. The pilot's here. There's a big heap of scaries. Where are you telling me about the escape route? Is that the aeroplane? We've more bandages. We have... Okay. So we need to get up in this direction, save this guy, and make it up this way. And I have a feeling getting loud is probably not recommended.
Check out what I got. Got some of that. Ah! Got some of that.
We got lots of explosive oil around the place. Elevation grants hit chance bonuses. Look for elevated positions when planning attacks. So on the one hand, it's probably don't fight the scary woman. And on the other hand, this would be a brilliant position to fight the scary woman. We'd better do something. We will press R to enter. No. I suppose we should break off the group more often. We could get, what's his name? Eddie Gordo. We could get him up there. There is the big scary fancy lady. Is she doing like a wide tour? No. Well, he's on guard duty, so he is not going to kind of move from there. Now Ingrid would be able to take out the two of those. From that position. I did not spot that there was another spooky lady wandering around. So many spooky ladies. It is terrifying that the line of sight ends here. We could get Ingrid to try and take out those two, but it's going to alert her. So, and of course that's not what we do. I think we actually need to move her in a bit further. Right, so after all that, I've nothing. I've no idea what I'm doing. We could, I suppose, wait for them to wander down and once we get them down to like over here, then start a fight. Because we'll just have the one dude to take out. Try and pick up the pilot and run away.
Come on, pal. Don't give me the silent treatment. Let's work something out.
That's the pilot.
Oh, they're patrolling in that area. Okay. Could we get Ingrid to a position where she could take out the two of them?
I shouldn't have to do this for myself.
That is... What? That's not her special
Make me an
attack.
offer.
We're not for sale.
At the moment.
Okay. That wasn't her special ability, and that was not what I wanted. What the hell? Where did this this magic second person come from? Well, that's a bit of a waste. I don't know. Is it possible to like go back and reload? So I was expecting her ability to run. Okay. So yeah, I have no idea what kind of a position that we're after getting ourselves into. Not a position that I wanted to be in. So the controls at times can be a bit clampersome.
I'm not here to play games.
So decoy becomes invisible. I'm not too sure what the hell she actually did there. Okay, we'll shoot this guy. And we will shoot 55, 40, 55. A miss. Now 80. We'll get 80 to here, we'll say. And let's see. So I don't want to. That's not much good.
Buffalo Bill, eat your heart out.
So I was hoping to
Finally,
drop
some
some
confidence.
dynamite up in this direction and get that done. Set off that dynamite.
You will regret this.
Right. So this is her signature ability, knock down upon all adjacent enemies. Do I select her or do I select one of the enemies? We'll select one of the enemies. We'll select
You're
her.
in over your head.
So we kind of select the location that it's to happen. Doesn't have the AP to make contact? Ooh, problematic. Now, I don't want to put him in cover behind the ammunition. That would be a bad idea. God, there's nowhere good for any of these guys to go. What have we here? Becomes invisible and moves to a selected location. Sets a decoy in a cloud of smoke, becomes invisible and moves to a selected location. Nearby enemies destroy the decoy for 2 rounds, or they combat it for 2 rounds. So, is this the location that he's picking to go to? Or is this where he's setting the decoy?
And it's time for me to go.
Okay, so he leaves the decoy where it is, and he goes to the selected location. And he is invisible. So 350 HP. Oh no. Not Overwatch. No. 0% chance to hit. Can't get him to there, and get him to here, but we're getting him further and further away from the actual where I want him to be. How we get him to here? And Ingrid. Does she have to be like right next to him? Maybe is that the issue?
We're with Elle. You must be the pilot.
Yes.
Sure am. Get me to my bird and we'll scram.
On missions, allies like Captain Nicky have a few good tricks up their sleeves, but their real worth lies off the battlefield. Nicky, can you do anything? Precision shot, ranged ability, deals moderate damage, accurate at short range, and evade. So I presume we're not going to be having you. That's it, yes. Execute. Might actually need to get him. Go on, sure, execute. Execute. I think that just blew their corpse halfway across the field. And where do we get you to run to? Latif. Is he still in a position to shoot?
What
And
this?
is no longer
Some
invisible.
kind of
Okay, that's
gas,
awkward.
baby?
Enough! My sword's thirst! You will never reach that aeroplane.
I have a feeling you're right. No. 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 There's another. There's another target. There's another target. No? Okay. Okay, nope. Will not, under any circumstances, allow me to target this person over here. Is it because we're not facing in the same direction as them? Are they hidden? Now he can still shoot. He has one bullet left. Who's this? Oh, that's Captain Nicky. Will we just do a runner? Sure. So there is attacks of opportunity. Bravely, bravely run away.
Hey, lady with swords! Want to see me disappear?
God, they're really going for that poor pilot.
What are you waiting for?
Dropping our Molotov down top of her. She's a fairly good range on her, so... Well, she can't do anything. Can't get her to shoot with or anything like that.
Almost with me. Almost.
Ah, so she's throwing daggers.
Worthy adversaries. You want the undrawn hand? Take it! I can claim the tower without it.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. If you're sure. If you're sure you don't need it. So the undrawn hand... Not entirely sure what that is, but I believe it is... We're going to see it maybe after this escape, if we escape.
Everyone on board, or I'm leaving without you!
We just saved you! Go, go, go!
Captain Nicky just screaming, "Don't make me turn this plane around!" Captain Nicky, the people back there are trying to kill us.
Del Vasto's landing.
Now we find out what kind of man pays this well for a blank deck of playing cards.
Wouldn't mind knowing who the hell we were fighting back in Marseille. Never seen troops like that before.
Let's see what this Mr. L has to say for himself.
And from what I can see, that is the end of the demo. So we get a look at two aspects of the combat, or two rounds of combat, effectively two little scenarios. I'd be interested to see what way it actually works, and I know that there are, over on Twitch, there are some people playing the full version of the game at the moment. They've been given early access to the game, but I'd be interested to see if it's kind of an FTL type scenario, or is it an XCOM scenario where you get missions every once in a while, or is it a kind of a linear story that you proceed from mission to mission to mission. We can see a lot of the kind of the pulp 1930s and 40s influences there, and the Indiana Jones influence especially. So I don't believe that we have the ability to continue, or else it might take us back to where we were just before the end of that scenario. I would have liked to have seen, because I know there's a kind of a... Not really, I don't think... It wouldn't be a kind of an XCOM style base but I have seen a little animation of a house, or not an animation, but there's a house and there's people at a table discussing plans, and there's a blacksmith's forge in there that somebody's hammering away at, and I presume that's a base that you return to in between missions like the one that we've just done. And I never used my Overwatch once during that mission, which is generally
From here we catch an airplane that takes us to L.
Can you fly
a useful thing in these games. They've brought us back to just where we found the first bag of spuds. They've brought us back to where we just found the first bag of spuds. So there you go. I enjoy this. I enjoy this. I'm not the biggest player of turn-based XCOM style games like this. I enjoy the lore. I enjoyed the gameplay. I wonder how much replayability there is to it, and I wonder how much there is yet to be revealed. We've seen the three major classes of character: the Sneak, the Baither, and the Saboteur. So I'd be wondering, we're going to see other characters as well. I think there's a good chunk of characters. I'm not too sure what. But how different are they all from each other, and how does it work? Do you get a set group per mission, or do they? Can you kind of choose the group that you want to take with you before you take on the mission? There you go, the Lamplighters League. It wouldn't be at the top of my to-buy list, but I quite enjoy that. The combat was entertaining. Again, maybe a bit difficult to see what you do and don't have at your disposal. What is this? Is this what I ended up? No, that's the takedown dash. I was told to press space. So this is what I was trying to do in that combat there at the end, and I'm wondering if I put her over here. No, so I pressed space, but I ended up with a completely different thing altogether, and we ended up in a rather bizarre scenario. I do like the option that you can just run, just get out of there. I'm not too sure what happens if you lose people or anything like that, but there you go. Have you been following the development and the progress of the Lamplighters League? Is this something that you've been massively excited for? Are you a fan of turn-based games like this? Where does it rank amongst some of the others that you have played? The combat looks to be putting it in a league similar to the game that I've now forgotten the name of. Rogue Trader. That is something that I'm interested in. Not necessarily for the combat, more for the kind of the RPG element, and for the lore, and getting to just be a megacorp in space. Who doesn't want to be a rogue megacorp in space? Everybody does. So that's a quick look at the Lamplighters League. Thank you all very much for joining me on this episode, and I hope I will see you in future the next time at a busy jazz bar in Marrakesh.